What's up, YouTube? Miss Montana D here with another relationship advice video. Well, actually, it's more like, what are your thoughts? Now, I previously made a video about ladies in abusive relationships or relationships they're not happy in or not getting treated right and they want to leave. I believe it was called Ladies Plan Your Escape, and I'll put the link down below on how to get out of a relationship that you're probably horrified to leave the person or too dependent upon the person to leave them and be okay by yourself. So I wanted your thoughts on men and marriage and how just the court systems do not really play in the favor of the male when it comes down to divorce, or sometimes custody battles, divorce and alimony and things like that, child support, things like that. How do you feel about a man who knows he's not happy in a relationship and wants to leave? So instead of the living by the saying, it's cheaper to keep her, planning his escape from that relationship or planning his escape from that marriage. Like, a woman can go marry a man who has it going on financially, stable, properties, business, whatever, and be in that relationship, and the relationship ends, the marriage ends, and she gets half of everything that he worked so hard for. And she really didn't probably put into anything. She didn't put in, work or whatever, didn't even blood, sweat, and tears was there with him, working with the hands on it, whatever the case may be, that he's not satisfied, that he feels like she shouldn't get half. So he plans his escape from the marriage and he starts to downsize the house. But before the relationship gets too ugly and to the point where it's about to end in a divorce, but before it gets to that point, he starts to plan his escape. He starts to sell off property, downsize the house to something smaller that he don't mind, the judge being like, you got to give her the house, and he's like, that's fine, she can have it. Or selling off the businesses, or putting certain things that he worked hard for in his own to get himself, putting that in someone else's name, cars, properties, bank accounts, all that stuff, just moving stuff around so that when he does hit her with the divorce papers, he's not hurt. He's not hurt so bad that he feels like it was a loss. The whole marriage was a loss. He came out with the shitty end of the deal because the court system can and will take half of a man's whatever and give it to a woman, whether she earned it with him, helped him attain it, or whatever, or not. The court system just really don't care. Really does not favor the men in most situations. So how do you men feel about planning your escape and protecting what you worked so hard for? You know what I'm saying? How do you feel about that situation? Like, how do you feel about being married to a woman, not being happy? She didn't really put in what she needed to put in order to walk away from the divorce with so much. How do you feel about pre-planning that she doesn't reap the benefits of your hard work, blood, sweat, and tears? How do you feel about that? You know what I'm saying? Let me know. Like, I know a lot of women gonna be like, well, I took care of his kids, and what if she took care of his kids and kept the house this and kept the house that and kept the house whatever. I mean, it's a different situation if he told you not to work, but it's also another situation too if he was like, doing all this for you and you didn't volunteer to be like, well, that's nice, baby, you doing all this for me, but I want to make sure I got me covered. I want to make sure me, you, demise or whatever, I still got enough that I can hold down me and the kids and take care of us and make sure I'm all right. Or in case you just fall flat on your face, I want to make sure I have something just in case. How do you guys feel about that? How do you guys feel about a man planning his escape? And I'm going to put the link down below. I want you to watch. It's a totally different situation for the women though, planning your escape. But I'm going to put the video down below, what I said about women planning your escape, and give me your thoughts on this about men planning their escape out of a marriage. Because I'm curious to know, like, dudes be like, it's cheaper to keep her. And I know a lot of dudes is staying in relationships, keeping her because it's just cheaper, because they didn't attain so much stuff. They done got this house and they remodeled, and well, he's doing it with most of y'all's money, and accumulated a whole bunch of stuff thinking everything was gonna be good. Stuff turned left, and now he wants out of the relationship for whatever reason, and he just doesn't want to lose half of everything that he worked so hard for in a situation where he worked hard for it. Not when they did it together, or she came in with something or whatever, and she helps him when he worked hard for it. She really ain't do nothing for it, but chose to stay around, take care of the kids, just love him, clean the house, cook or whatever, instead of choosing to also have some kind of financial stability or some kind of financial freedom or some kind of nest egg or whatever. Let me know how you guys feel about this situation. I'm curious to hear from the masses, because I have so many different opinions and people on my page. It's fun to read the comments sometimes. All right, I'll talk to y'all later. Love some.